Editing isn't everything. It's the only thing.
That's right. Well, here today with Phil deGruy.
deGruy.
Phil deGruy. Good afternoon, Phil. Thanks for having us in your home.
My pleasure.
So
Welcome.
gracious. We've got a whole bunch of questions. Been watching your YouTube stuff. Enjoying it a lot.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. Where do you come from, and how old were you when you started music?
Literally 8 blocks away.
And we're here in New Orleans.
Yeah, mid-city forever.
And
I like to say born and lowered, since we are below sea level. So
your humor comes through in so much of your stuff.
it's hard to leave this little crazy paradise.
Yeah, but you do go out and
Yeah, not a whole lot, but I'll make a couple trips a year, either New York, West Coast, or some fluky place like Missoula, Montana. They've had me to play their jazz fest there. They call it Jazzula.
Okay.
So do little fun things like that.
How much percent of the time do you travel?
Not much.
No.
No, I'm here most of the time. I got students.
Oh, you
know.
teach?
Yeah, I teach.
Wow.
Yeah, and then I do private gigs.
Wow.
And a few clubs and back up different people. I have a band that we don't play enough, but when we play, we have a blast.
Is that the Telly band?
No.
Okay.
It's a band that I call Cloud Sharp 9.
Cloud Sharp 9.
As in Sharp 9.
Okay. Cloud Sharp.
And it's with a friend of mine, a wonderful guitarist, and bass and drums, and we just mix it up, and
Yeah.
it's totally different departure than what I do. I play this guitar on the gig, but a lot of what I do is solo and arrangements, and so that's mostly what I do. So this is quite a departure, playing in a band.
Really?
You know.
Oh, okay. Because my introduction, where I found you through the web, was through that Telly Twango.
Twangorama.
Twangorama. There you go. That's how I first saw you, and they said something about you had hurt your hand.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow. And then
Yeah.
I found out it was
two,
old.
More than 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And it kind of fell apart, and kind of got tired of it, you know, and it morphed into something else. I play with the guy that started that. I play with him still, and another guitarist. And but
Who are those people? You know, like if you.
Jimmy Robinson is the guy who started Twangorama.
Mm-hmm.
And Cranston Clements and myself were the guitarists, 3 guitarists, and we had bass and drums for a while. But when we first started, like in the mid-90s, it was 5 guitarists, and it worked.
Yeah.
It worked, and there was something about it, and it was cool. And then somebody moved away, and somebody else just quit, and so we added bass and drums, and it got kind of loud for me.
Yeah.
And then my accident happened, and it kind of just fell apart. And then I started wanting to do other things like Cloud Sharp 9.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so again, try to get back to like how old were you when you started, and what was like the scene? And
Started playing guitar.
Yeah.
Well, I was forbidden to play my brother's guitar, he was 4 years older than me, and so I'm like 11 years old, and he's not around. We sneak it out. So I like this, you know.
Mm.
And my mother could hear that I was pretty much into it, and I had my tonsils taken out. My brother gave me the guitar. He felt bad for me or whatever, and he wasn't playing it, so I started doing that.
You ran 11?
Yeah. And I started taking lessons, but not for long. They were trying to teach me how to read, you know, and it's like, no, that's not working. And then I just started hanging around the music stores, you know. This is like late 60s when, you know, when pop music was amazing.
And so did you take more lessons, or you just
not until after high school. Then through high school, especially later high school, I really got into more playing, you know, but wasn't interested in anything but rock, you know, Clapton, the Beatles. And then my mother gave me a Chet Atkins record,
There you
senior
go.
year. But I was hip to him before. She took me to a concert when I was like 12 years old. Chet Atkins playing. I'm pretty sure he was playing solo at the auditorium, and that was impressive. And wow. But then in high school, when I got that record, it's like, how is this happening? How is he, harmonics, all
Oh, yeah.
that. It was complete mystery to me. So then I really got into it and I just tried to,
Wow.
trying to learn all that, but I couldn't really hear it enough to really know how to do it right. Because there's a lot of tricks involved, with
Oh,
his
yeah.
playing with Chet. So then I heard about this teacher in town. A friend of mine was studying with him, and he was amazing. He could teach jazz. He has his degree in classical, but he loved jazz. He loved Johnny Smith, and he's a great improviser, and he could play Chet. I mean, he could teach people how to play Chet.
Uh-huh.
And so I started studying with him to learn Chet, and then I got involved in jazz, and then he laid Lenny Breau on me,
Okay.
and that was like the mind blower. Chet was the appetizer mind blower. Then Lenny came along and blew the rest of the mind out.
And then you found a teacher that could.
Well,
Get this
I was
across
studying with Hank Mackey is his name, and so yeah, we're like, oh, okay, what's he doing here? And Hank could figure a lot of it out, but it was just a mystery. I mean, it was just mind-boggling. So I studied with Hank for like 3 years, and I'd take a few months off every year just to absorb and go in the woodshed and practice all day.